100 years ago, big steam locomotives crisscrossed this great nation of ours, transporting goods and services and building towns in the West. Trains captured the imagination of this growing nation and of a young boy in Marceline, Missouri.
As a child and as a teenager, Walt had a very strong grounding in all things railroad. In fact, when he would be done with his tasks as a newsbutch, he would take a couple of the apples that he brought from his family's farm, and he would polish them up and crawl up into the cab over the tender while the steam engine's rolling down the track. And he would bribe the engineer and fireman in the cab to teach him how to work all the levers and valves, because he wanted to be a railroad engineer like his dad's cousin.
Walt Disney was enthralled by the steam trains.
Steam trains are wonderful, and all the things that I've seen leave in my lifetime or change, I miss steam locomotives. They're like living, breathing things that people have built.
From director Carleen Thee of 8 Pen Publishing and director David Oneal of the Extinct Attractions Club comes the true story of Disneyland's steam trains.
I repair the trains in the roundhouse. I make sure that I preserve Walt's dream and legacy to continue on. Basically, that's how the park got started, from the trains, and I want to make sure that continues on. And make sure that's steam trains, by the way.
Ride the rails with Disneyland Railroad enthusiasts. Disney historian and founder of the Carolwood Foundation, Michael Brogy.
The attendance at the house had gotten out of hand. Sometimes 50 to 100 people would come over. He didn't know any of them. They just walk in, friends of friends of friends. So Walt realized that he's got to do something.
Grandson of E.P. Ripley, Disneyland's first engine's namesake, Ted Ripley.
The Santa Fe and all the railroads, starting with the Transcontinental Railroad, used to build hotels and actually even start housing developments and do all these things to try and increase ridership. So they could have well said, you know, advertised in Chicago and the East Coast, ride the Santa Fe to Disneyland.
Journey to the home of the original Disneyland passenger cars for a tour inside Walt's 1955 coaches.
We have 1.5 miles of track we operate steam locomotives on, and we have 4 of the original Disney Retlaw 1 coaches. Now the doors on these coaches are 6 feet high. I'm 6 feet and it comes just about to where I am. Walt Disney worked with Ward Kimball at the Burbank Studios on designing the size of these cars. Okay, we're inside the coach now. This is the original Disneyland finished wood in here. They have a lot of very intricate painted designs on the upper part of the roofs here. This is an education for people who never saw it or never even missed it. This is a whole new experience for them, and we hope to continue this experience for many years in the future.
I ride the E.P. Ripley, and the trainmen and so on are always great. I tell them who I am. A couple times I've had to show them my ID, and they let me on with my grandkids or so forth.
What we have here is the tender tank, the original tank as best as we can determine, from the Disneyland locomotive E.P. Ripley. This sheet metal tank here that's riveted held the water on the tender behind that locomotive.
Yes, I do remember going on the trains. Obviously, I got on the trains and didn't want to get off. I'd like to ride them all around and around and around. So that was one of the greatest things. And I thought I'd never be working at Disneyland, but here I am.
To me, the real genius of Disneyland, and what the legacy that Walt left for all of us, is that unlike a film, every time you go to Disneyland, it's a fresh experience. Because what you're bringing to it is your own reference, your own set of ideas, your own desires, and your own process. And so Disneyland provides the armature for you recreating memories and creating new memories that'll last the rest of your life. In a family atmosphere that allows a full-grown adult to skip down Main Street wearing a set of Mickey Mouse ears and not be laughed at and pointed at as the village idiot.
the Magic Makers, is happy to present the Disneyland Railroad story. Oh.